o'clock. Chapter 261 is here, and man, things are getting more interesting. The chapter continues with a flashback about Kaiser's past, as we see Kaiser getting his iconic blue rose tattoo. As Dark Ray asks him on how he beat up 7 police officers with just a soccer ball, this kid simply replies that he just ended the fight they picked. Man, this kid is really a badass. Ray replies that it's good since he's traveling all over the world looking for talents like him. Ray takes him to a familiar place, the Bastard Munich's training clubhouse, and says that from now on this is where he belongs, but first he needs to pass the pro exams, as Kaiser sees this as an opportunity to escape from the abusive grasp of his father, while in the Bastard Kaiser is greeted with an unfamiliar sight, as trainee like him welcomes him with smiles and open arms, complimenting his tattoo and even asking to eat with him, but for Kaiser growing up in a harsh abusive environment. Like his father's, he was not able to receive any form of goodwill. Like a rose not able to see a glimpse of sunlight, this young man simply rejects any form of it, as he picks a fight with his fellow trainees and chose to only trust in himself. But since soccer is a team sport, played by 11 players, you obviously need friends and allies to help you win this game, but since he chose to pick a fight with his team, becoming a loner, he became the most hated player of their team, and because of that, no one would give a pass to him, no one would assist him, and no one would help him score a goal, and because of this, Kaiser needed something, a weapon that would help fight on his own, and to help him score a goal on his own, something that could help him create an impact, to prove his very own existence. That's why he trained harder, worked harder, and played harder, in order to create a weapon developed from his own hardships. Thus the Kaiser Impact is born. Man, this boy is a one-man army. But other than a weapon, Kaiser needs someone to help him score, someone to give him a pass, someone that he could use. That's why he looked for that someone, not a friend, not an ally, but a lackey, a servant, that will do his bidding, do as he says, and follow his commands. This is where he found poor Ness, an isolated individual who has the skills and talents of a good player but lacks the motivation and confidence of a great player. This is when Kaiser entered his life, like an angel to help him, to save him from despair. But rather it's a thorn of roses that slowly entangles Ness, making him its servant. With an incredibly powerful weapon and a servant to do his bidding, Kaiser starts to score goal after goal, and with every ball he sends to the back of the net, he starts to feel something, a sensation, a pleasure. The pleasure of his teammates getting hurt, the pleasure of seeing despair in their eyes. To his enemies and teammates alike, this is where he destroys their dreams, crushing their hopes, changing their sense of values, like a thorn of vines, that binds them, cutting every part of their body, leaving nothing but scars. And the most twisted part of this is that with every suffering he sees, are like petals that slowly falls to him, making him a little more human. Then he realized something, that this is the same as with his father, who beats him up every day of his life, that instead of saying I love you, he tells him a piece of trash, not to hurt him but for his father to feel alive. The same as with Kaiser, but in a much larger scale he does it in the world of soccer players. Man, what a twisted mind. So Kaiser basically grew his talents in football, inside the Bastard team, like thorns slowly wrapping around his prized possession, claiming it as his own. This is why he sees Asagi as someone who wants to steal everything away from him, to take away his hard work, to destroy the vines that he had worked so hard to grow. Man, so it's the reason why Kaiser hates our boys so much. It's because he's afraid that Asagi might take away the only thing that he has, his team, the Bastards. The game restarts with a PXG player sending a pass to Nanasi, but Ness comes beside him and jumps in front of him, head-butting the ball, leading to Kaiser taking possession of the ball over Corona and Karasu. As Kaiser rushes towards the goal, he spots 3 defenders ahead of him, and calculates that is about 35 meters away from the goal, and says that this time he won't miss. That's why he plans to get 5 meters closer and stop to make the shot. But as is about to proceed, his 2 main rivals, Asagi and Rin, appears besides of him, as Rin says that he's still too tepid to think that he can score, as Asagi shouts to not stop as he already saw that Rin will surely take it. But Kaiser has already made up his mind and tries another shot, leading to both Asagi and Rin blocking his shot. As Kaiser falls, he thinks that everything he worked hard for is getting stolen and destroyed right in front of his eyes. As Kaiser stands up, instead of seeing a helping hand that will help him get up, he sees the cause of his pain as his rival Asagi, the freaking trash talker, looks down on him and says, "Kneel because this team no longer belongs to you." Man, what an epic turn of events from the one who looks down on people causing despair to them, to the one looking up feeling the despair, as we see Kaiser in fury mode. Man, Asagi has really turned up his trash-talking skills. This is what really adds more emotion and reality to this anime, the trash talks, the bullies, the fight for survival. Like what they say, no matter how big of a badass you think you are, in this vast world, there will always be someone badder than you. Man, Asagi is really living up to the hype of the baddest MC. As Noah looks on them, says that Kaiser needs to fight this big of an ego Asagi, in order to evolve. Dang, what an epic trash-talking chapter this is. That's up, guys. For more Blue Lock updates, hit like, share, follow, or subscribe. Thank you, Winky Face.